Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Kayfabe Central podcast and another episode of the post-show review. And in this edition, we will be once again going over AEW Dynamite from September 3rd, 2025. Now, I don't think I the AEW Dynamite preview. Okay, one second, my microphone settings just changed, so I gotta fix that. I was muted. We are good now. So many technical difficulties. It's like the world doesn't want me to do this post show. But as I was saying before, I was interrupted by my microphone issues. I don't think I've done the AEW Dynamite post show in like 2 weeks. I think the past 2 weeks I've caught the clips and stuff like that, but I wasn't home. I was out with my family, coincidentally on the 2 days AEW Dynamite was. So I missed like the entire shows for those 2 weeks, but caught it tonight, and we are here with the AEW Dynamite post show for September 3rd, 2025. I will be breaking down everything that went down from the matches, the segments, the promos, all that good stuff. And if you enjoy this channel, if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you're up to date with all the videos, podcasts, and interviews that come to the channel. Speaking of interviews, my interview with promoter and owner of Destiny World Wrestling, Emilio, drops tomorrow on YouTube and Spotify at 5 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Kayfabe Central YouTube channel. It's already on the Ko-Fi page, the Kayfabe Central Ko-Fi page, which is linked down below. It's $5 minimum to subscribe to the exclusive wrestling content tier, and you will have access to that interview before it drops tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. So if you are interested in that, go ahead and check out the Ko-Fi page. It would mean a whole lot. My microphone is switched again for some reason. I don't know what is going on with my microphone. Um, but you know what? We're gonna continue this post show, and we'll figure it out after because we just got to get through it. So we kicked the night off with a promo from Gabe Kidd. It was not much of a promo at all. He came out, he called out Darby Allin, who answered, came out, attacked Gabe Kidd. Wheeler Yuta came out to try and make the save, but Darby Allin hit him with the skateboard that had the thumbtacks attached to it. John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Marina Shafir came out, but then were stopped by Hook, the Ops, and Willow Nightingale, who fought them off. That continued. Darby and Gabe continued their fight in the parking lot where Darby Allin put Gabe Kidd in a body bag that was attached to a truck. He also made him pass out with like this rag. I guess he used it before, according to commentary, maybe last week, and I didn't catch that. Um, but yeah, made Gabe Kidd pass out, and then put him in a body bag that's attached to a truck, and drove off with him. So that was pretty cool. A pretty hot start to AEW Dynamite, which I enjoyed. We dove right into this Death Rider storyline. Again, the Death Rider storyline, I think, just needs to end at this point. It's getting pretty dry and played out, and the whole Death Rider thing just needs to be over with at very soon. Um, because it's just gonna end up being the same thing. They're gonna just put people on the shelf, and it's gonna be a feud, a long feud, and yeah, that's all it's gonna be. Um, we then have we then had a TBS championship match. Mercedes Monet defending against Alex Windsor. Mercedes Monet retained. After the match, Monet attacked Windsor and then locked in the statement maker. Then Riho made a return. I haven't seen Riho in so long, but she made a return. She came back and made Mercedes Monet run away. Oh my goodness, my words, everything's just going wrong tonight. So yeah, Riho made Mercedes run. So Riho is back. I haven't seen her in so long, but I'm glad to see her back. And it seems like she's going to be feuding with Mercedes Monet for that TBS championship. Um, we then had a backstage segment. Renee Paquette was with Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs. They asked them about Hook and the relationship, what's going on there. Hook then enters the frame and says that he doesn't need any help from Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs, and they replaced him before the body was cold. Samoa Joe pretty much told him that, yeah, it was my call. You have every right to be upset, and we're gonna have your back, whether you ask for it or not. So, pretty interesting segment there between the ops and Hook. So it seems like Hook's not really a part of the ops right now. It could end up just being he joins them back again though, since Joe said they'll always have his back. So that could end up being the case. Um, and again, I apologize for the microphone issues if it sounds really shitty right now. I have no idea what's going on, but because I've been using this mic for a while and it hasn't done this. So yeah, I have no idea what's going on, and I will have to figure that out after this post show. Um, Backstage, Ricochet and the Gates of Agony challenged the Hurt Syndicate for AEW All Out. Ricochet was just talking his crap about the Hurt Syndicate. After that, we had a promo from Mark Briscoe, who said he wants a shot at Kyle Fletcher's TNT Championship. Don Callis comes out and says he has to defeat somebody from the Don Callis family, who ends up being Konosuke Takeshita. So that match is going to happen on Saturday at Collision. But Mark Briscoe said, "No, I want to fight right now. Give me another one of your henchmen." So Don Callis sends Lance Archer, in which Mark Briscoe defeats Lance Archer by pinfall, and it was really warmed up for Collision. And I thought that they were gonna have like Collision taped, like how they usually tape after Dynamite, but it seems like it's gonna be live because I was like, okay, is Briscoe gonna wrestle twice in one night? But no, it does seem like it's going to be live on Saturday, so I'm probably going to have to do coverage for that. But we'll see when the time comes. Um, there's a promo from earlier that they showed from Tony Storm just issuing a challenge to any woman on the roster. Yeah, she, said her weird, lines, her funny one-liners and stuff like that. And then just issued a challenge to anyone on the roster. So we gotta wait and see to who answers that challenge. Um, yeah, we had Harley Cameron and Chris Statlander. They have their sights on Megan Bate and Penelope Ford. Harley Cameron, joked that said, "I want to go after Bro Dito." Um, that would be pretty funny if that match actually happened. But then Wheeler Yuta from the Death Riders came up and said someone has a message that the Death Riders will always have her back. Harley Cameron doesn't like this, obviously. Marina Shafir then comes into the frame and, just stares down Chris Statlander. And Chris Statlander says, "Tell him I got the message." The message probably from John Moxley, the leader of the Death Riders. So, because we saw that confrontation a couple weeks ago as well. We then had a AEW Tag Team Championship match. Brodito and Bandito and Brody King defeated the Death Riders to retain Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli. I don't know what's going on today with me, guys. I apologize. But yeah, Brodito retains the tag team championships in a pretty solid match. I forgot to mention Monet and Alex Windsor was a pretty solid match as well. I enjoyed that match. And this was a pretty solid match as well. I like what Brodito's doing. Like I said before, they're working better as a tag team than I thought they would. So yeah, kudos to them. We had a backstage segment. Renee Paquette asked Kazuchika Okada about the tension between him and Takeshita, and he said he's the real alpha of the Don Callis family, not Takeshita. And then just ended it with bitch, like he always does. So, I still find it funny when he does that. It's just out of nowhere. He just ends every promo with that bitch. um, we then had another backstage thing. Renee Paquette was with the Hurt Syndicate. MVP accepted the challenge from Ricochet. So that match is going to happen. It's going to be a 6-man tag team match or trios match at AEW All Out. MVP will be competing alongside Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin to take on Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. After that, a brawl broke out between Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, and FTR. Adam Priest also got involved and, went after, I believe it was Dax Harwood. He went after FTR after trying to separate the two teams. After that, backstage, Stokely Hathaway was in the back with FTR. He's back. Um, Adam Priest came up to them to apologize, but Cash Wheeler wasn't having it. He got up in Adam Priest's face and pretty much said, you have an appearance on one show and you think you're all that. How about you find yourself a tag team partner for Collision and meet us in the ring, and we'll really make a name for you. So Adam Priest is going to find a tag team partner for Collision, and yeah, going to take on FTR, which should be pretty interesting. There's a lot of news been coming out recently about Adam Priest and his contract situation. So, but it does seem like he's going to be doing more work with AEW. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I haven't seen a whole lot of his work, so I'm interested to see what he does, and I'll probably be watching Collision on Saturday. So interested to see what he's got. I've heard good things though. Um, we then had the main event of the evening, the All Star 8-man tag team match. The Don Callis family, Josh Alexander and Kyle Fletcher, tagging with the Young Bucks to take on Hangman Adam Page, Kenny Omega, Jet Speed, Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight. The Don Callis family and the Young Bucks ended up winning in a fantastic match. I mean, as expected, all 8 of these guys are incredibly talented. So yeah, this was all around a fantastic match. I was loving every bit of it, and such a good way to close out the show. After the match, the Don Callis family brutally attacked Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega. Hangman Adam Page was on the receiving end of a brainbuster onto a chair. And then Kenny Omega was on the receiving end of a brainbuster through a table, like from the outside, from the apron to the outside, through the table. So a brutal attack. There was a stretcher brought out for Kenny Omega. Hangman Adam Page was also helped to the back. Yeah, you got to think now for Hangman Adam Page. Maybe this is where MJF lets him know. He's like, hey, I'm gonna be cashing in my Casino Gauntlet contract, which also no MJF on this show at all, which I found pretty interesting. So yeah, MJF wasn't seen on the show, but maybe he'll be there next week. I don't know. It was just weird because he's usually on Dynamite every single week. But again, you don't need to be on Dynamite every single week to just be a star. Honestly, I mean, look at Roman Reigns. um, and yeah, that was it for AEW Dynamite. A pretty solid show of AEW Dynamite, like a lot better than what they've done in like previous weeks. I like this episode. There was some development in storylines, some character development as well. We saw the introduction of Adam Priest, who we've been hearing a lot about recently in the news. And so yeah, a lot of interesting stuff happened here on AEW Dynamite. And we didn't really get any much advancement other than a brawl with the FTR and Cope and Christian storyline. But again, there's not much that needs to be built up for that because there's already a story behind that. You know, FTR and Adam Copeland have just been feuding for months already. So there's already a story behind that. A brawl made perfect sense here. From top to bottom, solid show for AEW tonight. I enjoyed it. And I will say I enjoyed it more than NXT and Monday Night Raw this week. So, yeah, one of the better episodes of AEW Dynamite for sure. But let me you guys thought about AEW Dynamite, and I'm going to fix the microphone issue, or at least I'm gonna try to. But let me know what you guys thought about AEW Dynamite. If you got your predictions right, what your predictions are for next week. What do you think's gonna happen with the current storylines ongoing? What's your favorite thing going on in AEW Dynamite? Let me know all of those good things. There's a multitude of different ways you can let me know. You can let me know down below in the comment section on YouTube. You can go over to Spotify in the comment section there as well and let me know. Obviously, like I've mentioned before, these post shows for the weekly shows are not on Spotify, strictly only on YouTube. But all the other podcasts are over there on Spotify, so you can let me know over there. You can go over to the Kayfabe Central Ko-Fi page. It's $5 minimum to subscribe to the exclusive wrestling content tier. So if that is something that interests you, I'm talking early access to podcasts, early access to interviews, all that good stuff. If that is what interests you, then go ahead and check it out. Yeah, you can also go to the Kayfabe Central website. There's a group community section over there. There's comment section under every coverage post, article post, written prediction post, everything that there is a comment section. So a lot of different ways you can let me know your opinions, whether you agree or disagree with me. I always love hearing it. You can also check out the Kayfabe Central Discord server. Go ahead and check that out if you want a place to just talk about wrestling or anything non-wrestling as well. We have a non-wrestling channel in that server. So that interests you, go ahead and check those things out. They're all linked in the description below. But yeah, with that being said, that is your AEW Dynamite review for September 3rd, 2025. Once again, let me know what you guys thought, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.